afternoon and welcome back to my channel, and this is going to be the next part of the 52 game challenge. Games numbers 11 to 20, so another 10 games here. First of all, I want to show off the t-shirt that I've got recently, which is an homage to Retro Kit Jonathan, who sadly passed away this year. A whole bunch of the guys I've seen, a bunch of the guys in I think it was a pub, they all had their t-shirts on. You've had, who was all there? Eddie was there, Liam was there, Dana, a whole bunch of guys in the pub, and it was just really nice to see them all together and wearing the same t-shirt in solidarity to John. But yeah, cracking t-shirt. I'm going to wear this one with pride a lot in my videos. I will wash it though, so I don't think it's just going to be worn all the time. But on to the games. So I've got a little notepad here, so I'm going to make lists. Every time I mention someone, I'm going to put them on the list because I want to make sure that I'm tagging the right people and that I don't forget anybody. So I'm going to keep this going, making a wee list all the time in any of my videos, whether it's pickups or 52 game challenge. So the first game that I've got, sorry not the first game, the 11th game that I played this year was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on the PS5. Another thing I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and put pictures or videos or something up in the corner here, because I take a lot of pictures and I do quite a lot of, record quite a few videos as well, but I've never actually utilised them, so I'm going to try and be a little bit better and improve my content a wee bit, I think. So that's what I'm going to try and do. But anyway, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is absolutely fantastic. I spoke before about my love and passion for the original on the PS3. Absolutely devoured that game back in the day, loved it to pieces. And this isn't really a remaster, and it's not a remake, it's more of a reimagining, and it's bloody fantastic. It's brilliant, it's absolutely peak fiction, as Tommy would say. And actually on that note, it was Dad and Lads, they did play it, and I remember I messaged them and asked them if that level was still in it, no Russian, and I asked him just briefly, is it like a remake, and he replied to me saying that it's not really a remake, it is what I just kind of mentioned there, it's kind of a reimagining of Modern Warfare 2, taking it in a new kind of light and a new kind of direction. But I asked him if no Russian was in it, that level was in it, and he said he didn't really answer it, but now that I've played it, it's just absolutely brilliant, and the ending of the game is fantastic. I don't think Marcus liked the end level, which I kind of get, but the end of cinematics and everything, so good, so good, so good. That was game number 11. Game number 12 was the Callisto Protocol. This game is brilliant as well, like so good. I know there was a lot of there's been a lot of negative feedback on it when it first came out, and you kind of, a lot of folk were kind of comparing it to Dead Space, which is absolutely expected because it's the main guy, Glenn Schofield, so he made it, along with a lot of the other people from the original Dead Space that made the game, and it looks like Dead Space. There's a huge Dead Space influence on the game, but I absolutely loved it, and I thought it was really, really cool. I don't think it was trying to be Dead Space to a certain extent, but it tried to be its own thing, and for that I thought it was brilliant. Really, really did enjoy it. It's got really cool atmosphere and sounds and music and everything. The one thing that kind of did take me out of the experience was there's a part where you're fighting like blind kind of beasties, blind bad guys, and yeah, you've got to kind of sneak around like a stealth kind of section, and you've got to kind of take them out. And these blind baddies can only hear you, so they can't see you, obviously, because they're blind. But you can like massacre one of the baddies right next to another baddie and they don't hear you. It's just it kind of takes you out a wee bit of the kind of tense situation that it is. But I really did enjoy Callisto Protocol. Next one was, as we were talking about just a wee while ago, Retro Kit. So one of his favourite games on the 360 was Call of Duty 3. Now this is a game that I went out and got last month from CEX. I had to go up to Glasgow to get it, and I just found out that I've got another bunch of games there that I got from that month that I didn't put in my pickups videos last month, so they're going to be put on this month. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But this is absolutely brilliant. It was really refreshing to go back to a game like this, because I haven't played like a World War II boots in the mud kind of first person shooter in a long time, and this was just really refreshing to go back and play something like that. Really did enjoy it. It's got really cool graphics, nice sound effects, nice musical kind of score as well, and really kind of atmospheric, and you just feel really part of the kind of fight against the Nazis. Really did enjoy this. The next one, got to write down names, sorry. Dad and lads are on the list. What was the next one I played, sorry? So the next one I played was digital, and it was on the Switch, and it was Limbo. Now in our 52 game chat we've got on that app, everyone's played Limbo now, I think. I'm pretty sure everyone's played it. I think Sean Retro Games Revived has just finished it. I really did enjoy Limbo as well. I really like the kind of bold black and white kind of art style of it. There's a few kind of tricky puzzles and tricky parts to the game. I died quite a lot in the game as well, but I don't think any of the deaths were cheap. I think all the deaths were fair, and you learned to kind of you learned to get past them as well. So yeah, I thought it was really good. But I'll move on to the next one in a wee minute. Yeah, it was a really good game, sorry. But I do think Inside is a better game. It was Paul Dink Northerner. Actually, I need to put down Sean's name here as well. He's on the list. And Paul Dink Northerner. It was Paul Dink Northerner that said that he felt that he liked Limbo as well, but he felt, and I 100% agree. I think Inside is a much more polished game, but we'll get to the Inside in a wee minute. So that was game number 11, 12, 13, 14, Limbo. Game number 15 was, and this is something me and Jay are going to do for this year, I think. We're going to play through these games, and it was a hell of a lot of fun as well, which is Gears of War on the Xbox One. We are going to go through it and play the rest of the Gears of War at some point. I just need to get Jay interested in it. Like, he'll kind of go on and off kind of thing, but we will play through the rest of the Gears of War this year for sure. And I was talking to Ross Barhaha on one of his Twitch streams, and I told him that we just finished it, and then I asked a question about, I think it's Gears of War 4. Gears of War 4 has got Gears of War 1, 2 and 3 included in it, but I didn't know if it was on the disc or if it was download codes, because I got a second hand copy. And it turned out it was download codes, and he sent me over the codes, like for nothing. He just sent me a wee picture of all the codes, but the Gears of War 2 didn't work, so I've not even tried Gears of War 3 and Judgment from the codes, because I just tried 2. But I do have the games anyway, so I'll just stick them into the Xbox One and me and Jay will play through them. But sorry, Gears of War, absolutely brilliant. Jay loved it as well. It was just a really nice experience, because like, we're sitting on the same couch before bedtime and like all wrapped up in our blankets and stuff, and we'll go through a couple of levels every night, and it's just really nice to have like someone sit next to you and just like shouting like up in the top floor, or just, do you know what I mean, just like really getting into the kind of game and into the story and everything. So we really enjoyed that, and it was a really cool experience together. So we're going to go through the rest of them at some point this year. Trying to put Ross's name down as well. The next game was a game I got gifted a long time ago by Betty Hord Clinic, so Bill at Betty Hord Clinic. And I loved this game. Me and my little brother played this many moons ago, and it was just really nice to go back to it. And I didn't play this copy, and it's Chrono Cross. I didn't play this copy, I played it on the Switch, so I bought it on the Switch digitally, and I absolutely loved it again. Like the whole story, the story of Serge and Lynx and Kid, everything, and then there's so many characters to unlock as well. I think I've got like 20 characters still to unlock, 24 or something like that. But there is some characters that are kind of choice characters, I think, in the game, so you can only pick one of two or whatever, and you can miss a couple of characters as well. But I absolutely love this game. I know there's a lot of people that don't rate it highly because it wasn't the Chrono Trigger sequel that they were expecting, but I've never played Chrono Trigger, so I didn't ever have that kind of comparison to make, and I hadn't played it Chrono Trigger back in the day either, so when I did play this back in the day, I never had Chrono Trigger to compare it to. So yeah, this is peak PS1 RPG for me. It's absolutely brilliant. And even the graphics to this day still look good because you can switch the graphics back to PS1 style on the Switch, and they still look absolutely brilliant. And there's something about like 2D pre-rendered backgrounds that I just absolutely adore. I love it. I love like going up to things and just like hitting X or whatever it was in the PlayStation, or B, whatever it is in the Switch, and just like hitting the interact button with random things in the 2D background, and you find like a potion or something. It's just brilliant. Even like in Resident Evil, I remember you used to, was it in Wesker's office in Resident Evil, you went to the desk and you had to search the desk like 60 times before you found like a film reel of Rebecca Chambers. I remember that. That's the kind of thing I really like, getting 2D backgrounds. I'm getting away from the point here, but yeah, this game is absolutely fantastic. With the Switch remaster of it, or yeah, re-release of it, it fell into the trap as well. I think that Final Fantasy 7 and probably 8 as well, when they were re-released, remastered, whatever, and it's so annoying because you've got like the shoulder buttons and the analog sticks, and you press them in for like infinite health or infinite limit break of Final Fantasy 7, and I just think that really takes away from the game. I never used any of them kind of cheats or buttons on Chrono Cross when I played it. The only thing I did use was the kind of fast forward mechanic of it. I think it was R2 you pressed, and you could just speed up the text, or you could just speed up cuts, long kind of overdrawn cutscenes kind of thing. That's the only feature of the remaster that I used, to be honest. Loved it. Loved Chrono Cross. Fantastic game. Who did I mention there? Bill. He put Bill's name down. Bill's on the list. So game number 16. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, sorry. Was Inside. Inside is fantastic. Inside is a brilliant game. Not too long either. At the end it gets kind of weird and everything, but it's just so cool. The graphics are just crisp and beautiful, kind of black and white, grey, with the wee boy's red shirt. And that's the only colours in the game really. But it's just so good. It's just so good. It's so atmospheric, and I kind of likened it. And this is a very weird comparison. And I was talking to Mark Jordy Slasher about this, and I felt kind of silly saying it, but Inside reminds me in some way of Control, and I don't know why. It's the kind of colour palette of it. It's the kind of suspended kind of bodies, kind of like lifeless bodies around the place. It just really reminded me of Control. And if you remember in Control, there was like possessed items in the game, and yeah, I don't know. It just there's a link there between Control and Inside that I can't really explain, but it just really reminded me of it. It's very weird, but everything I think of Inside now, I think of Control as well. And Control was a brilliant game as well. That's a game that I did platinum, but I think I would go back and play Control again because it's fantastic. So that was Inside, brilliant game. I highly recommend that one. And again, everyone, I think in our 52 WhatsApp group has played it and finished it now this year as well. Next game was a gift from Eddie at Roller Exco. A while ago I bought a game off him which was Klonoa for the Wii, and that's brilliant. I played that now on the PS1 digital, and now I've got it physically on the Wii, which is fantastic. But he also set up this game as well, Batman Brave and the Bold. This is fantastic, so good. I played the Game Boy Advance, not the Game Boy, oh my god, the DS version of it. I played that last year, and it was so good. It was so nice. Like, the graphics are really crisp, really got that kind of cartoon, comic book kind of style to it. Cheesy dialogue, which is just funny as anything. I mean, every time Green Lantern mentioned his ring, it was so funny. But yeah, I absolutely love this. I think with the DS version as well, I think they're both fantastic, both brilliant games. I don't know which one I would prefer over the other one, but I really enjoyed playing through both of them. And I tried to get the DS to link with this so you can play it as Batmite, but it didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work. I just wanted to see what the whole Batmite kind of link up thing was all about. But yeah, loved it. Absolutely cracking little 2D kind of platform and beating up kind of thing. Next game I played was next game I finished, sorry, was Clash Force on the Switch. So that's a digital game as well, and it's not a fantastic game. It's not a great game. It's an okay game. It was just a game that I wanted to just jump in and just finish something, and Clash Force was that. It's got really nice 16-bit kind of sprite graphics, which is really cool. It's got a nice little soundtrack as well, but it's just very bare bones. There's not much to it. There's not many, that you don't upgrade things. The levels aren't long. I since finished it, watched a review on it, and it didn't get a good review either. I think got like 2 out of 10 or something. But one of the complaints was, which I don't agree with, was that the bosses didn't have like a specific routine pattern. But I thought that was a lot better, because at least it gave you a little bit of a challenge, because the bosses didn't do the exact same things in the exact same sequence. They kind of mixed it up a wee bit. But saying that, is a very easy game. You learned the bosses' moves, you learned the level layouts and everything. It was alright, it was okay, it was a nice little couple of hours, and then you finished it and added to the list. What was the next one? Oh, yeah, put Eddie's game down as well. And then the last game that I've just finished just now, and it's so good, like special game. Ghosts of Tsushima. I've left the copy downstairs actually, which is annoying, but this game is wonderful. It's so good. The island of Tsushima itself is massive, and just now when I finished it, so I finished the main story and I finished all of the supporting characters. I finished all their stories as well, but there's still so much to do in it. Like, the world is just feels really lived in, and all these characters now, all the little villages and everything, they've all got missions to send you on, and then you've got like different shrines you can find. There's still loads of like armour to upgrade. I need to get swords to fight. There's so much to do in the game that I haven't even really scratched the surface of. And there's a lot. There's people that mention that will call that bloat or fluff, which is fair enough. But in my experience, that like, I've finished the story now, and I've finished the supporting characters' stories, and that was the game for me. Everything else on the side is if you want to go and do it. I'm not going to go do it straight away. I think I'll go back to it someday, but at the moment I want to move on from it. But I'm kind of selling it short a little bit. I mentioned to Vospa as well that it was kind of like Assassin's Creed without all the modern day fluff, which it is kind of, but I feel like that sells it a little bit short because I do think it's a better game than an Assassin's Creed game, even though I like Assassin's Creed games. But I absolutely loved it, and I spent so much time in the photo mode. I love photo mode. Photo mode's fantastic, and this game is just prime. This game's prime for photo mode. It's fantastic. But yeah, that is my games 11 to 20. And at this particular moment, I'm actually not on a game at the moment. I don't have anything on the go. There's a couple of games I want to maybe start, and I know I kind of want to start Project X Zone. Somebody else has started that in the 52 game challenge, but I won't mention who it was so they can put it out in their video. I don't want to give any spoilers away. So Project X Zone, I want to start that at some point. I've got Eve Valkyrie for the PSVR. That's loading up just now. I did hear that it was taken off, so you can't even play the single player anymore. But I'm going to give it a bash. Maybe after this video, I'll go downstairs, see if it works. I really want to play a VR, something in VR. What else have I still got to get round? Pickups. So pickups will be coming soon, and I've got a massive amount of pickups, more than I thought I would have. And that's always the same, it always happens, but I've got so many pickups and gifts and trades and stuff that I've done with other fantastic tubers that I will get into when I do my pickups in the next week or something. But anyway, sorry for droning on, but that was my next step in the 52 game challenge. Games numbers 11 to 20. Thanks very much for watching, and take care. Cheers.